and welcome to another socially isolated edition of the Full Force News Burst, brought to you by GeneralsJoes Reborn.com, with me as your host, Chris, best friends with Brian Goldner, but don't say anything to Brian because I'm lying, McLeod, aka Diagnostic 80. I'm solo again today to report on Brian Goldner's interview with CNBC regarding the status of Hasbro and how it's being affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. So without further ado, let's get stuck into this news burst. With COVID-19 ravaging the world, affecting pretty much everyone negatively with the exception of gamers, Zoom, Discord and Skype, it's no surprise that a company like Hasbro would be affected too. That said, CEO Brian Goldner appeared on CNBC to discuss update and also calm a few of the stockholders' nerves in regards to the company's current status. The reporter asked how the company was doing in terms of sales, and Goldner replied positively, saying, "Well, overall we are seeing great demand in our products and we're trying to satisfy demand in a couple of ways. Certainly our games, our Play-Doh products are selling quite well. We're trying to get programs out there this week. We'll launch a program called Bring Home the Fun, trying to get parents and caregivers the resources they need to keep kids occupied and get educated, to keep creativity going on and foster family connection." Goldner also discussed a plan to help those in the community who can't afford to buy their children Hasbro products, and explained that we also see a great demand in the communities for help of people who can't afford our toys and games, so we're working with Save the Children, 200 locations across the US, to get products out to them, to get resources out to them. We're working with No Kid Hungry to make sure kids are getting the meals that they're not getting at schools. Everybody can play a role, every company can play a role. Goldner went on to discuss that the supply chains are back up and running in China and estimated that production should be fully caught up by April, subject to what happens globally. Hong Kong have suffered more cases of COVID-19 and are back to working from home, but teams in Shanghai are back in the field. The Hasbro CEO went on to say, "We are having a good start to our year and we're very focused on both sides of the equation, ensuring that we are creating great commerce so that we can pay our people and we are paying our people. Many people around the world are working virtually. Some of our people can't work virtually. We are paying everybody. We want to keep everyone on the payroll. In order to do that, we have to have great commerce and we're doing that." The CNBC reporters pressed Goldner about the workforce, asking how many employees currently work for the company and whether layoffs were imminent, to which he replied, "We just added E1. We made an acquisition just over the holidays, we closed on December 30th, so now we're about 6,500 employees and locations all over the world, and we have a tremendous team. They're doing incredible work and all at a distance. No, we are not going to make any layoffs. Look, Hasbro is in a really good financial position. We have over $1 billion in cash on our balance sheet, most of which is in US dollars. We have access to another $1.5 billion in a revolving credit line, which we are not going to draw down on. We continue to see good sales. Obviously our finance teams and everyone else is working 24/7. We've worked through every one of these days since it's been clear what's happening. Our board is very supportive. They continue to pay our dividend and will pay our dividend. We are going to employ our people. I think one of the roles we can play is to continue to give people the paycheck they deserve. There are people in our company who don't have access to laptops, but we're paying them as well, co-ops and interns. They're getting paid. That's our commitment that we've made." Goldner concluded by explaining the difficulties they have faced in China with Chinese New Year, the disruption to manufacturing and the effect COVID-19 has had on the company. It all sounds rather positive considering, but you would fully expect that from a company's CEO. Cue the "this is fine" meme. Clearly Hasbro is in a better position than most to deal with this biblical setback, and even though he was firm in his stance regarding the workforce, I do worry that more layoffs could be around the corner, but we shall see. In the meantime, I'm going round my old buddy Brian's house for a cup of tea. He will never know I was there. And a big shout out to one of our patrons, Sam Myers, for giving me the heads up on this story. Thanks Sam, now wash your hands. That's it for this instalment of the Full Force News Burst. Thank you to my awesome co-host, me. See you next time, and as always, Full Force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page, facebook.com/TheFullForce, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback or questions. We have also started a Patreon page, so if you want to see your name up in lights on these videos or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/TheFullForce podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.